Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you guys for joining us today. So excited to be here to talk with you about Europe and our news release that's coming. We've got a couple of housekeeping notes that we're going to do. Let's see who we've got joining with us today and where you guys are coming from. I'm in sunny California, and it is actually sunny today. A little overcast. I'm not too far from the water, so things have to burn off a little bit. Hello from Michigan. Castle to Sea Vacations. Hi, Diana. Hello from Kansas City. I'll share too that Carmen isn't able to join us today. She's off doing something fabulous, but she's unable to join us today, and she'll be back with us in 2 weeks. Hi from Newfoundland. Oh, you might get the award for furthest distance. Tennessee coming in. I'm imagining it's warm there about now. Hi, Amanda from Las Vegas. I'll be visiting there this weekend, and I've heard it's hot. Betty from Maple Ridge, British Columbia. Oh, I'm going to be in British Columbia in June. Can't wait to get out and see everybody. Patricia in Lauderdale by the Sea. Thank you guys for joining us. So I've got a little bit of housekeeping to do. You guys know how this drill goes, right? So just a couple of reminders, and then we're going to get started with all the information you joined us to hear about. So first of all, there is a live transcript available on Facebook. There's a little caption option at the bottom of your screen if you're watching us from Facebook. Stick around until the end because we're going to do Q&A. We always love, I personally read all the pre-registration questions that you guys share with us, and there's always great questions in there. So stick around to the end because we're going to answer some of those. And as a reminder, one of the top questions we get, whether it be in pre-registration questions or like on Carmen's page when we're talking about our next webinar, is about whether these are being recorded. And every single time we do record them, we love for you to join us live because then we can answer your questions live and in person with people here with us. But it is always recorded as well. And so we always post them a couple days later onto our OneSource. And then they're also always on Carmen's Facebook page as VP of Princess. So let's get started. So we have enough time for our special guest to speak with you guys. So Europe 2025 preview. I can't believe we're talking about 2025, but I'm super excited. And there were lots of questions about Port Canaveral in the pre-registration questions. So I'm gonna have our special guest, Ty Tucker, join us. She's our manager of Europe and Exotics product management for Princess Cruises. She's new, but I think you've seen her before. So welcome, Ty.
Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, depending on where you are based in the world. Yes, I am relatively new. I've been with Princess about 9 months and overseeing Europe and Exotics for about 4.5, 5 months. I'm really excited to be talking about this product launch this morning. We have a lot of exciting things that you're going to love about Europe and our exotic destinations.
We can't wait. And Ty, where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm based in Arizona. So
okay.
Pretty warm destination, but we like to overuse our air conditioning, so I am with sweater today.
Ty from Arizona, so I'm sure we got some Arizona peeps on watching as well. So thank you for joining us, and we can't wait to hear all about Europe.
All right, well, let's get this thing started. So we are going on sale very soon. We have May 24th, our London Southampton sailings will be going on sale, followed by our Mediterranean sailings going on sale June 1st, with our Elite Captain Circles, members going on sale 1 day prior. But we're here to talk mainly about Europe, which goes on sale next week. We have 185 departures, over 100 destinations, 96 unique itineraries, over 50 UNESCO sites, and 6 ships that will be sailing these destinations in 2025.
Over 50 UNESCO sites is pretty incredible.
It is. It's amazing. So many things to choose from, so many destinations. This is more than in prior years. So there's so much for people to choose from, so much to love about Princess coming in 2025. And we have the all-new Star Princess. She is
I
the
love that.
second in our sphere class with the 1,133 feet, servicing 4,300 guests, 21 decks, 1,500 balconies, which I believe is the same size as the Sun Princess,
It
which
is. Yes.
launches in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
The second, I think I mentioned the second in our sphere class, which is a new class of ship as well. So Sun launches in 2024, the Star in 2025, and as you can see behind me, both offer the Dome, which I'm sitting from the Dome in
And you can see it.
Arizona, where there's no ocean.
And you can see that picture. You can see the dome, right? You're going to be able to recognize that when you see our ships in port because you can see that dome in the picture in your slide as well.
Absolutely. So here in this slide, you can see the Wakeview Terrace, the Princess Arena, the Piazza, and the Dome.
Amazing. We can't wait to get on her.
Absolutely. Both of these ships are absolutely stunning. They offer some similar features, the Piazza, the Dome, the Wakeview Terrace, optimal views, spectacular, luxurious sunrises, the South Beach style resort decks, the infinity pools, things that you've not seen prior on our other ships, things that guests are going to absolutely love.
The other
Princess
piece that
Theater.
The other
Go
piece
ahead.
we sometimes forget to highlight is that there's no obstructed views. We've actually been able to create this platform ship with no obstructed view cabins. It's pretty incredible.
Absolutely amazing. And I was actually able to go on a ship just a few weeks ago as a new employee, and I was floored at how beautiful this ship was. So I'm really excited to get on Sun and Star and see for myself these amazing amenities and these features, especially the dome. I'm a huge fan of Santorini and the inspiration behind some of these features and amenities.
Yes, yeah, they made great use of the Wakeview Terrace. It's absolutely, I'm sure it's millions of people's favorite view, but it's personally my favorite view, is a gorgeous Wakeview, and they made great use of all that space.
Groundbreaking designs on these ships, the glass sphere at the midship that infuses the 3-story piazza with light, connecting guests with dynamic views of all over the world, wherever you're sailing, innovative experiences, from the service to the food to the entertainment. Wherever you go on board, there's something that's going to be for everyone.
Absolutely. We've got a question about whether the OneSource has these assets available, and if they are not there yet, they will be absolutely very, very soon. I'll check it as soon as we're done.
Absolutely. I know that some images are loaded. I don't know that they're all there.
Okay. And Joe is telling me from behind the scenes that they are already there.
Thank you, Joe. So for 2025, we have several departure ports: London, Southampton, Barcelona, Rome, Athens, Copenhagen, Berlin, just to name a few. But as I mentioned just prior, we have over 185 locations that we'll be hitting. So this is what that map kind of looks like when you get it in the big picture. It's a very big picture. Looking at that, more to love in 2025. 185 departures, more unique itineraries. This is what that looks like. So let's talk about the Mediterranean to start. This is our 40th anniversary. 2025 will be sailing the Mediterranean, and we're very proud of this milestone. So one of the inaugural season 2025 itineraries is our 10-day Grand Western Mediterranean, which is round trip from Rome. We'll be sailing through Florence, Pisa, Genoa, Marseille, Barcelona, Majorca, Cartagena, Gibraltar, and then rounding that out back to Rome. And here you see the Leaning Tower of Pisa and Cathedral in Mallorca.
I mean,
This,
regardless
I'm
of the
sorry.
ship, I want to go to all these places, but it's also on the Star Princess.
Yes,
Great
this
opportunity.
is on our new ship, Star Princess, and this inaugural voyage is in August of 2025. Following another one of the inaugural season sailings is our 20-day Best of the Mediterranean. We have this sailing round trip out of Rome, round trip out of Barcelona, Barcelona, as well as round trip out of Athens. One of the sample itineraries I selected was round trip out of Rome. There are 17 different ports on this particular voyage, which hits Genoa, Marseille, Barcelona, Mallorca, again, Cartagena, Gibraltar, Corfu, Santorini, Athens, Sicily, Naples, Pompeii, and I think Kousadisi as well in Greece.
Oh, wow. I would have helped you out, but I can't see. I need better glasses.
Yeah, there's quite a few stops on this. Again, with some of these itineraries, you really get to see all, as it says, all of the best of the Mediterranean on one ship, unpacking once, keeping it easy for our guests.
I'm going to ask Carmen if I can have 20 days off. We'll see how that goes.
And as speaking from my own experience as a guest on the ship just recently, I was able to work. So maybe you don't need to take all that time off.
There we go.
Okay. Work when you're at sea, experience some of the ship.
I like that, Ty. I'll let you know how it goes when I talk to Carmen.
Let me know. I'm gonna do the same thing. I think my boss is watching. So no. Another one of the itineraries that we're featuring in 2025 is this 10-day Italy, Croatia, and Greece, which features Naples for Capri and Pompeii, which is fantastic. I've been to these locations. Sicily, Malta, Catacolone for Olympia, Kotor, Dubrovnik, Split, Trieste. So it is not a round trip. You're starting in Rome, you're ending in Venice. You can see so many things doing an itinerary this way. We can also combine itineraries this way. You can go from Rome to Venice and then pick up in Venice and take another 7 or 10 or 14 day and extend your trip.
Right. Claudia asked, can this be on a payment plan? So the answer to that is absolutely, because we offer easy pay. So your clients, you can book the cruise for them and your clients can sign up for easy pay and it gets broken into nice, easy payments for you. So that is a big yes.
Fantastic. So here we have 3 additional itineraries that are going through the Mediterranean. We have 12-day Canary Islands, which features Vigo, Madeira, Santa Cruz, de Tenerife, Gran Canary, Lanzarote, Lisbon, and ends in London. We have a 14-day Mediterranean Adventurer and a 31-day Mediterranean Marvel. I mean, what can you imagine an entire month sailing around the Mediterranean? This is like my dream.
On the Sun Princess, of all things.
On the Sun Princess.
Yeah.
Like literally my dream. Brand new ship.
Ooh, Carol said Med Marvel. I love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sounds like a superhero, the Med Marvel. This has, let me see if I can count these. Beginning in Southampton, Vigo, Malaga, Mallorca, Florence, Rome, Naples, Athens, Mykonos, Santorini, Kousadisi, Rhodes, Galilee, Jerusalem, Malta, Sicily, Seville, Lisbon, and returning to London. I lost track of all of my fingers.
Good job.
But that is all of the stops on this 31-day Mediterranean Marvel.
That's incredible. Steve is asking, can a group booking also use Easy Pay? And that is also a yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So these are the ships on our Mediterranean fleet. We have the star of the show for 2025, followed by the second star of the show, the Sun Princess, our
Yep.
Emerald Princess, Majestic Princess, and Sky Princess.
Yes. And I'm going to throw in a reminder. I hope I'm not stealing thunder because we're talking 25. I'm going to throw in a reminder that Sun Princess is in the Med in 2024, right? So don't forget that. And we talked about the fact that she's there earlier than we're used to being in the Med. So it's an opportunity for your guests to go to the Mediterranean in what is considered off season and have less crowds, cooler weather, more than likely a little less expensive airfare. And then also some travel advisors at my last Love Fest said, you know what? Also, there's probably going to be less kids when it's in the spring that way as well. So lots of reasons to book Sun in 24.
Absolutely. Sun starts sailing in February of 2024, which children will more than likely be in school. So that's a great time for an adult vacation.
Absolutely.
So we would be remiss not to bring up our cruise tours as well that travel through Mediterranean. So we have Classic Italy on Sun Princess, Highlights of Spain on Sun Princess, and The Best of Greece on Sun Princess as well. Classic Italy traveling from Venice, Florence, and Rome, Highlights of Spain from Madrid, Valencia, and Barcelona, and then Best of Greece from Kalambaka, Delphi, Nafplem. I know I'm not pronouncing that correct, but hopefully I'm close, and Athens.
Yeah, I hear rave reviews on this. I have not had the pleasure of doing one of our cruise tours in Europe, but I hear rave reviews about them, how well taken care of the guests are for this experience on land on their way to the ship or vice versa. And sometimes people are a little apprehensive to do their own thing in Europe before they join the ship. And this is a perfect opportunity to still be within the cruise realm and our family to see Europe before you join.
Absolutely. And you know that everything's taken care of for you. You know, you don't have to worry about, am I going to make it to the ship on time? The hotel is taken care of for you. They're fantastic partnerships with the hotels. They're great properties. I am from a hotel background, so I can tell you that they are great properties. The food is fantastic. That's all taken care of for you. It's an inclusive package. So yeah, it's a fantastic opportunity to see more of the land base before you get on the ship, and you know you're going to make it there on time.
Absolutely.
So moving from the Mediterranean, we'll start getting into our Northern Europe product for 2025 with a beautiful picture of Blarney Castle. And this actually looks like one of the photos I took on my trip in 1999. We'll start off with a 10-day British Isles, which these sailings offer more ashore late night stays in Belfast, which is where Titanic was built, immersive museum located in the former shipbuilding site. We have some 10-day Southampton, London, Dublin, Belfast, Glasgow, Orkney Islands, Edinburgh. There's lots to offer with these Northern Europe itineraries. We're offering also on these Northern Europe itineraries, we go to Iceland, we travel through Norway. One example is this 14-day Icelandic Fjords in British Isles, which travels through Cornwall, Cork for Blarney Castle. And I've studied these names. I have some cheat sheets here. We're going to go. You ready?
We're diving deep. Let's go.
We're going in deep. Reykjavik.
All right.
Grungerfjordur. Isafjordur. Akureyri. Seyðisfjörður. Orkney Islands, Stornoway, Glasgow, and Southampton. Seyðisfjörður is not actually on this particular itinerary. That's actually on a future, but my my cheat sheet notes kind of got away from me on that one. We have a 7-day Scandinavian itinerary here, traveling on Sky Princess with 4 ports of call, traveling out of London, Southampton, going to Kristiansand, Oslo, Norway, Copenhagen, Skagen, and returning to Southampton.
Hey, Ty, Nicole said, well done on your pronouncing, because this is not easy.
They're very intimidating. Very intimidating. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So I wanted to also mention, not only do we have cruise tour, but we also have Shorex at all these locations, which is our land-based excursions. And we have some fantastic excursions which can take you through ice caves. They can take you kayaking through the fjords, and some very incredible excursions, creating memories for whoever that you're traveling with. Discovering new adventures wherever that you're going, and memories that will last a lifetime. Here is another example of an itinerary we're offering in 2025, the 14-day Icelandic and Norwegian fjords. Some of these cities you'll remember me mentioning just recently: Southampton, London. This is a major port for us. Traveling through Stavanger, Skjolden, Sonjefjord, Olden and Nordfjord, Alesund, Akureyri, Isafjordur, Grundarfjordur, Reykjavik, which we see this beautiful picture of the Blue Lagoon, which we have a Shorex excursion that will take you there. And then Reykjavik, I just mentioned, and Southampton.
You sound like a local, Ty. You really do.
I think that's a bit of a stretch, but I'm putting my best effort into this.
Oh, I saw someone ask, let me see, someone asked, do we have any searching, like Northern Lights cruises in January? I don't know about January, but I know we always have searching for the Northern Lights. We always have those.
We do have the Northern Lights. We do have Land of the Midnight Sun. And we also have Australia, which offers the Aurora Australis, which is the Southern Lights, which is the other scope, the Southern Lights and the Northern Lights. So you can pick your scope, the North Pole or the South Pole.
Got it.
So here we also have the 21-day Mediterranean and Scandinavian medley, which is offering not just Iceland, Norway, and our northern region, but it also gives you some of the Mediterranean as well. So you see here in the map, we're traveling from Southampton, London. We're going Oslo and Kristiansand and Copenhagen, Barcelona, Valencia, Rome, Sardinia, Provence. We're getting a little bit of everything in this itinerary. And this again is traveling on Sky Princess. And to round out the story of our Northern Europe, we have our cruise tour with the Ring of Kerry. So this combines our 10 to 12-day British Isles with some land-based itinerary that gives you stories through the Cliffs of Moher, Shannon and Limerick, Killarney, the Ring of Kerry, and Cobb or Cork, which provides you some tours of Blarney Castle. And in our northern fleet, we have Sky Princess. And we wanted to also, go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, I got to sail on Sky Princess right before she had her first voyage, and incredible. What a beautiful ship. I love the colorings, and she's just as beautiful as all the others.
And we wanted to talk again about Sun Princess and the 2024 inaugural voyage starting in February and going through Med in February, spring and summer, and then traveling to the Caribbean in fall. Whoops, sorry, I got a little ahead of myself there. So here comes the sun. She's coming.
Woo!
Yes. We're excited for her. She's a beautiful ship, first of her kind, and she will be sailing 10-day inaugural Grand Mediterranean, Barcelona to Rome, February 8 with 6 ports of call. 10-day Grand Med, round trip from Rome, February 18th, 6 ports of call. 10-day Grand Med, Rome to Barcelona with February 28th with 6 ports of call. And as Marcia mentioned, it's a great time of year to travel. You have cooler weather, less humidity, probably fewer children because they will be in school, and it is not peak season, so you will probably experience less expensive airfare.
Yeah. Lots of reasons to go at that time.
And this concludes Northern Europe.
Thank you, Ty.
Thank you so much for having me.
You know what? It's so nice to have you going over this with us because, you know, we're all so busy and we get the announcement, but then it's always just nice to have somebody who knows it, like walk us through it one by one. So we really appreciate you joining us. And we're going to join, have us join with us, Sarah Weber. And Sarah is our Manager of Product Management for the Americas.
Hi, everyone. I am super excited to come and crash the Europe party to announce some of the new stuff that we have on the Americas team. We just announced a lot of our deployments. As you guys know, we were talking about Caribbean and CAN New England as of recently, but I'm back to talk about some new and exciting things. So earlier this year, like we were saying, we announced our brand new Caribbean season, which included some of the great options for your guests to explore all the regions of the Caribbean like we have every year. This season was extra special because we had some new announcements. We had the debut of our newest ship, Sun Princess, as Ty was saying, that's coming to the Caribbean in the fall of 24. We also are returning to Galveston, which is great new Western Caribbean itineraries out of Texas. And then we introduced a new summer Caribbean season that included, you know, our classic 7-day Eastern and Western Caribbean itineraries, but it also announced for the first time access to the Southern Caribbean with stops in all 3 of the ABC islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, with a 14-day Caribbean Islander itinerary. But now I'm back to talk about some new additions we have for this season in the Caribbean with an additional 38 itineraries, 38 voyages in the return of our Caribbean Princess. So with that said, we have a brand new departure port out of the Caribbean starting in November of 2024. So currently we have Fort Lauderdale, which is our core heart of the Caribbean where the majority of our sailings go. We have Galveston, and now we're going to be in Port Canaveral. So we'll have 2 different departure ports out of Central Florida. So this is, in Florida. So Port Canaveral is really going to make it easier for our guests to travel to the Caribbean from Central Florida. So they no longer have to drive down to South Florida. And these voyages will go on sale on May 24th and open for elites on the 23rd.
There's so much excitement around that, Sarah. I can't tell you, like all of the questions that were coming in for pre-registration around Port Canaveral. So we're so excited to have you here to talk about it with us.
Yeah, I'm going to go through some of the great itineraries that we have for Port Canaveral. So exciting. So these sailings are going to start in the end of November of 2024, and it's going to go through spring of 2025. So like I said, you know, Florida is such a big hub for the Caribbean, and now we're so excited to provide even more access for all of our guests. So talking into some of our core itineraries for Port Canaveral, these are all going to be round trip from Port Canaveral. Our first one is a 6-day Eastern Caribbean with Turks and Caicos. So this is going to be a really popular itinerary, I think, because Grand Turks and San Juan are two of our most popular Eastern Caribbean itineraries. And this itinerary goes to both with an additional port in Nassau, Bahamas. So there's going to be two different iterations of this itinerary. There's going to be the 6-day that visits San Juan, and there's going to be another 6-day that visits Amber Cove. So depending on what your guest is interested in, this is a great option to do a shorter 6-day itinerary and get kind of into the Caribbean and explore some different ports from Port Canaveral. And our other itinerary is an 8-day, so a little bit different from our core itineraries from Fort Lauderdale and Galveston. So it gives a little bit of variety and options for guests that want to travel out of Florida. So this 8-day Western Caribbean itinerary gives guests access to go to the Western Caribbean. So we have Eastern Caribbean and Western Caribbean, all from Port Canaveral. Round trip, like I said, these itineraries will go December 24 through April of 25. And this itinerary is going to be really ideal for our guests that really like the Mayan ruins of Cozumel, Costa Maya, and Belize. So this is going to be kind of more your adventure itinerary out of Port Canaveral with visiting the Western Caribbean. And then finally, if your guests cannot choose between these two great itineraries, we get it. You want to see the Eastern Caribbean and the Western Caribbean? Awesome. We have an itinerary that you can combine these on a 14-day cruise. And that's going to give you Nassau, Amber Cove, or San Juan, Grand Turks, Cozumel, Costa Maya, and Belize, and Roatan. So this itinerary is really great for those guests, like I said, that want to do a little bit longer of a cruise, want to see both the Eastern Caribbean and the Western Caribbean. And the really popular ports here are, Grand Turks, Cozumel for the ruins, Belize, and San Juan is always a guest favorite as well. Then moving on to our next exciting announcement is in our Canada New England product. So we had some great things that came out of Canada New England in our launch this year too. We had a bunch of different departure ports, great destination, great ships. But now we're excited that we're finally able to announce our brand new port of call, which visits Yorktown, Virginia. And wow. Yorktown is part of, it's really, really exciting. And one of the reasons why this is so exciting, Marcia, is that Princess is the first major cruise line to offer Yorktown as a port of call. So this is exclusive for Princess right now. This is the way that guests can really kind of dive into their history buff and see the historic Virginia Triangle. And you get to really see the historic exploration of this region. And Yorktown provides our guests access to the Colonial Williamsburg, and Jamestown, which is all the Revolutionary War sites.
Right.
So this is going to be something that's very, very unique for Princess and unique to our Canada New England itineraries. So we have some great itineraries for that visit Yorktown. We have a 10-day and 11-day, both round trip from New York. And these itineraries, just like our Port Canaveral, is going to open on May 24th and Elite's on the 23rd. So talking a little bit more about these exclusive itineraries, our first day is our 10-day American Heritage with Yorktown. Like I said, round trip from New York, all of these itineraries that visit Yorktown are going to be on Island Princess. And so this itinerary is going to go to Halifax, Boston, Yorktown, and Charleston. So Yorktown is really, really popular for seeing Jamestown. So Jamestown is where the first English settlement was established. And this settlement became the first permanent English settlement in North America. So this is where our big history KSP comes into play for Canada New England. This is just really expanding our access to all the history out of this region. And this is a great itinerary for guests to see that. And our second itinerary is the 11-day. So the 11-day is the same exact itinerary, but you get an additional port of Newport. So another thing that we talked about for access from Yorktown is Colonial Williamsburg. So this is an absolute must-see for anyone interested in early American history. As the place where the American Revolution first started, Colonial Williamsburg is also the world's largest living history museum, and it's a great place for getaways for both families and couples. And for someone that grew up in Washington, D.C., I went to these destinations pretty much on every single field trip that we had. And it's just so, so different and so unique. And I would recommend this to anyone that's interested in history. And then you get to see the beauty of the New England coastline as well.
That's
so
incredible.
These are my
There's lots of
exciting
comments.
updates.
Lots of
Oh,
comments
yeah.
about how exciting that we're going to Yorktown too. So you got a lot of cool stuff going on in the Americas.
Yeah, I'm super excited to be able to continue to share all these new additions that we have, and so such an honor to be back and talk to everyone.
Thank you. So
and that is all I have. Yeah.
Well, so thank you so much for joining us. We're going to bring you back in a few minutes to answer some questions that we had from the pre-registration. But thank you, Sarah, for joining us. If you could, you'll be backstage waiting with Ty to come back and join us for some Q&A at the end. I just have a couple of housekeeping things to go through with our travel advisors here. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
We'll see you in a minute. All right, that was fantastic. I could listen to both Ty and Sarah for a long time. I'm always learning something new. So we've got news and notes and a couple of reminders to go through really quickly. The first one we're going to talk about is World Cruise. So you guys know how World Cruise really kind of sold off the charts. And we just have a reminder for you that there is early booking benefits for World Cruise 2025 that end on May 31st. So if you have clients who are interested in going with us on a World Cruise for 2025, make sure that they get their booking in by May 31st so they can get the up to $500 onboard spending money. There's airfare and specialty dining specials in there as well. There's a 5% future cruise credit if they pay in full by May 31st. So there's lots of good benefits in there, but again, ends May 31st. So remember to get your clients booked on our World Cruise. And Academy. So our Academy is amazing. And we have a fantastic team who is running all of the content for our Academy. We've got over 3 million courses that have been completed on the Academy as well. And there's so much for you to learn. It's award-winning. We actually just won at the end of 2022, we won the Travel Weekly Best Travel Agent Education Program. So we're very proud of that. So if you're not registered in OneSource and if you haven't started Princess Academy, make sure you get going. And I'll go over the main reasons you want to get that done, which is all of our Commodore benefits, right? So once you finish and become a Commodore, you earn a free graduation cruise, and there are some amazing opportunities to sail. It's not just Mexico and Caribbean, even though those are fantastic as well. We've had travel advisors who completed the program sail to Hawaii. They've had an opportunity to sail in Europe, Panama Canal, Canada, New England. We give lots of choice with these free cruises. You get to sail with elite level Captain Circle benefits while you're on board. And then as you do your refresher courses, which is required annually, you also get a $50 onboard credit for getting those refreshers done. And then you can have that applied to any cruise that you take with us throughout your time sailing. And so we get lots of questions about the refresher courses. So just to give you guys a little insider scoop on how this works. So refresher courses are done annually. You guys all know that. We are doing a big push right now to get those who have not done their refreshers for 2022 to get those done, because once we take the 2022 refreshers down, that is when we can then bring up our 23 refreshers. So we can't have 2 years running simultaneously, which is why sometimes there's a delay in getting like the next year up. What we're trying to do is give people as much opportunity as we can to get those refreshers done, because we're going to come upon an end date here where we need to take 2022 down so we can get 23 going. Once we take 22 down, you will no longer have the opportunity to refresh your courses and gain continue your Commodore status for 23. So we've been sending reminders because there's lots of you that have not done the refresher yet. But you need to complete those courses from 2022 by May 26th. And then Once we've got that done and we bring down the 22 courses, we're going to put up 23. We actually already have 1 or 2 of those already ready to go. 1 will go up immediately, and that's all about pricing. So you're going to want to know about that. That's coming very soon. So again, the reason we're delayed is because we're trying to give people the most opportunity to earn their refresher and their Commodore status for 23, sorry. And then the Princess Experience. So last time we met, just 2 weeks ago, when we talked about Puller Online, I shared this slide. Our teammates, Anne and Joe, and a bunch of people behind the scenes put together this amazing Princess Experience guide for you guys. So it's about everything on board to our destinations. There's this QR code there that you can use to download and get more information. Make sure that you are doing the download here, getting the information, and sharing this information digitally with your clients. And actually, I misspoke. Anne had a part in the Partner with Princess, aka Princess 101. She did a fabulous job here, and this was wildly popular last webinar. Make sure you're scanning to get this download. This is all for you. This is for you as our travel advisors. We recognize there's a lot of you that are new to the business, or new to the trade, or possibly just new to Princess, and you need to have a place to start. And so this is a great guide about growing your business with us. So take the time to scan the QR code. It's going to take you to the page where this resides in OneSource. So if you're not scanning, you can also get to this in OneSource. It's a fantastic guide, and you absolutely want to take some time to run through that. We also can't forget and cannot rest on our laurels about the fact that it pays to plus, and it pays to plus in many ways. It pays to plus for your guests, drinks, Wi-Fi, and gratuity. Those are things, they're the top 3 things that guests pay for on their cruise. It's a drink package, it's the Wi-Fi package, and it's gratuity. So in most cases, they're going to do this anyway. Why not have a savings on it and add the plus package to your guest cruise package? And so that they're sailing with the things that they are going to use on a regular basis anyway, and they're also getting a discount on it. Not only that, when you do the pays to plus, it helps your guest, but it also helps you, because whenever you plus up, that increased price, the $60 a day for plus or the $85 a day for Premier, that adds to the cruise fare, and that then adds to your commission earnings. So it is good for everybody to participate in Plus and Premier. And we also have one of the best packages in the marketplace. So Cruise Critic actually did a little piece on this and shared that Princess package is the best value. So we also have a page here for you. If you want to take a look at this too, you can use the QR code. And we did a little bit of research on our own and did a comparison, and want to, go head to head with other brands on the packages that they offer, because ours is really the best value. So another QR code there if you'd like to see that page. Don't forget, we've got 60 sailings under $60 a day. This is crazy insane. And you know why I say that? Because has anyone tried to book a hotel lately? You're not getting it for $60 a day. And if you do, it doesn't include food, and it's not going to be a very nice hotel. So $60 a day to sail, to cruise on a Magnificent Princess ship is incredible. So make sure that you guys are talking to your clients about the value that taking a cruise vacation has. And then an insider scoop. Carmen wanted to make sure we plug this because she loves to give you guys insider scoops. Coming June 1 to July 5th, we're going to have up to 40% off of cruise fares. And that's also going to be included with the 60 sailings under $60 a day. The OBC is tiered, but it's got a reduced deposit. So make sure to be on the lookout for that as well. Love Fest, we are in the throes of Love Fest. I'm having a great time hosting these Love Fests with you all. The QR code here, because we just added some more dates. So initially we only put out dates that were through June. I think we now might have all the way through the end of the year, and if not, we at least have them through the fall. I have, I think, 3 more to go. I have one in Phoenix, one in San Francisco, and one in Vancouver. So if you haven't registered yet, please use the QR code to join us. We're doing as many of these as we can on our beautiful ships so that you have time to view and tour them as well. But then there's also some Love Fests that are happening on land, and they'll be just as fun. So please join us. Seminars at Sea, we've got lots of these going for you. They've been wildly popular. So we've got two cruises left that still have availability on them. So use the QR code here. It's a 7-day Canada, New England, which I don't know why I'm not on that because I haven't done that yet, and that sounds amazing. And then there's also a 5-day Caribbean in October. Both of those are October dates. So you get a discounted price on the cruise, and then you get to attend actual training hosted by our amazing business development manager team who sails with you to answer questions and talk with you about growing your business with Princess. Register on OneSource and scan the QR code for details. So we've got Q&A. So we're going to bring our wonderful guest speakers back. Okay. Hey, Ty.
Hi.
Hey, Sarah. Thanks again. You guys did an amazing job. We learned so much. I learned so much. I'm looking at this information all day, every day, and I still learn something new when you guys speak. So thank you for joining us. All right, and in case you missed it, just a quick reminder here with the QR codes, because sometimes they don't rest on them long enough, and you guys are fumbling to get your phones up. Here's the QR codes again so that you have time to be able to scan what you were interested in. So before I hit this one, I'm going to ask you this question because it just popped up in the comments here. I'm just trying to see who asked it. The Travel Portfolio USA, so I don't have a name, but is Yorktown a tender port or will we be docked there? Do we know that yet?
I do not know the answer to that, but I can find out for you.
Okay, all right, we don't know that one yet, but coming soon, we'll let you know. All right. So when does the Caribbean Princess start her voyages from Port Canaveral?
Yeah, so we start not pretty soon, but we'll start in the end of November of 24 and we'll go through April of 25. So the first sailing is actually November 27th of 24, and it is a 4-day getaway to Turks and Caicos. So that's an amazing port. So that will be our inaugural sailing at the end of November.
Yeah, and that's going on sale
on the 25th.
The 25th, correct. So you guys be ready and book it because I could imagine that that's going to go like wildfire.
Yeah.
Okay, will there be any other ships coming to Port Canaveral? If so, do we know which ones?
Yeah, so we're super excited to be expanding our departure ports to the Caribbean and obviously welcome Caribbean Princess to Port Canaveral. Caribbean Princess is so special to the Caribbean, especially with the splash pad. But we really need to ensure that we are really successful out of Port Canaveral and, tapping into our Central Florida audience and people that want to fly in. So we don't know that yet, but we want to bring as many ships back to Port Canaveral, and we really need to be successful, and we need your help doing that.
Absolutely. So in short, you all, it's up to us, right? It's up to us to get those cruises booked. They sell out and become wildly popular, then they're absolutely going to give us more beds to sell out of Port Canaveral. So let's get going as soon as that opens up. Okay, when will Alaska 2025 be open for sale? I'm getting this question quite a bit too.
So I can represent Team Alaska. They're very dear to my heart. So Alaska 25, we're excited, will be open for sale starting on June 28th. And obviously on June 27th, we'll open it for our elite guests.
Yes, so that's an insider tip, guys. We have not shared that yet. So take note. Thanks for sharing that, Sarah. What's next? Will you offer ship tours for travel advisors out of Port Canaveral? So that was a really good question. And my counterpart, Anthony Viciana, is the regional sales director for East Coast. And as soon as I saw that question, I just sent him a little note to say, hey, get on this, right? So I'm certain we're going to offer ship tours out of Port Canaveral. Coming soon. When can I book groups when new product is released? So when new product is released, on the date that, that this opens for general sale, it is also open for groups. So groups opens right away. So whenever our on sale date is, you can also open your groups at the same time. Are there any back-to-back cruises or longer length cruises that cover Greece and Italy?
Yes. as a matter of fact. So can everybody hear me okay? I just want to make sure because I lost connectivity there for a little bit, but okay,
Yep.
great. So I'm back. Yes, we're very happy to offer both longer cruises. So we have the 21-day Best of the Med, which is round trip from Athens, from Rome, and from Barcelona, which features 17 unique ports in Italy, Spain, France, and the Greek islands. But we also offer itineraries that are combinable. So for example, we have a 14-day Mediterranean with Greek Isles, France, and Turkey, which is Barcelona to Athens. And one of those is departing 4/25/2025. And then you can combine that with a 7-day, for example, Mediterranean, Greece, and Italy, which is from Athens to Barcelona, departing 4/19. I think I got those backwards. 4/19.
Yeah.
Yep, 4/19. What it combines to make a 21-day, and that's 15 unique ports.
Right.
Or,
That's
excuse me, it
amazing.
was 4/5/2025, and then 4/19 is the connector.
Got it. Yeah, that's amazing. I think one of the things that I want our travel advisor partners to walk away with is to know that also in Europe, one of the reasons we have the 7 days and the different number of cruise days and itineraries is so that they can put them together, right? That when we got away from, so we used to do all just 10 and 12 days, and now we're doing sprinkling more 7 days in there as well. We got away from that. It was so that they could put them together and kind of customize them for their clients. All right.
Yeah, it really
What
gives a
else, Lynn?
variety of options.
Yes. Whatever, whatever is going to entice them, they can kind of put together and make their dream vacation. So here's another question. When my client books on board via your onboard sales manager, is the booking made with my agency or do we need to have it transferred back to the agency? So good question. Our onboard sales managers will make the booking with the travel advisor who booked the guest last. So the travel advisor who booked that guest on that cruise, that new booking will be made under that agency. The only difference here is if they don't know where they want to go and maybe they just purchased the future cruise deposit, then that is just sitting attached to that guest captain circle number, and you get a notification that they opened the future cruise deposit so that you can touch base with them when they return home and help them decide what cruise they want to take with that reduced deposit and the onboard credit special offer we gave them. All right. Was there any more questions? All right, let's see. Sharon, if client decides to upgrade to Princess Plus or Premier or upgrade cabin, can they reapply for new payments or easy pay? So that's a good question, Sharon, and I have to do a little research on that. I want to say that the process for doing the upgrade, it's totally separate from what they're paying on their cruise, and I don't think it disrupts the easy pay process, but I would need to double check it. So when you apply for upgrade or Plus or Premier, your guests will pay for that right there at the time that they're putting in for it. So Plus or Premier, you pay for it at the time that you want to add it. So that just gets paid in total separately. So no issue with easy pay there. For the upgrade program, that also is separate. I don't think it's going to disturb the easy pay program. I'll double check it, but I think that because they get paid separately in different processes, that it doesn't change the easy pay. Good question. Okay, Sarah, will there be any other seminar at sea dates available? There could possibly be. So we've put out the whole breadth of what we were offering this year. But I heard some rumblings that there might be some others coming. So just be on the lookout. And if we do add some, we'll absolutely share with everyone. But it's what we have shared so far is all we have on the book so far. Cindy, is there a list of sailings for under $60 a day? There is on OneSource. So you can find that on OneSource very easily. Richard needs to know, I need to catch up with the refresher courses. Where can I find them, please? So yes, you just go into OneSource and then click into the Academy, and then you'll be prompted for refresher courses. There's a list there, and you can go in and do your refreshers. Make sure you get them done, definitely before the deadline, May 26th. All right, so I think that's it. Thank you all for joining us. I want to thank our special guests, Sarah and Ty. for taking time out of their day to share all of their knowledge with us. And then I absolutely want to thank our Child Advisor partners for taking time out of their day to join and learn with us. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you in 2 weeks with some more exciting and new things to share. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Ty.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.